Welcome everybody to my review and demo of Home Depot's 6-foot animated first mate or pirate sidekick, whatever you want to call it. Now, since I'm not a fan of watching or doing unboxing style videos, this is just going to be my review and demo of him. Now, I got this guy from Home Depot's original online drop for $149.99, which is an excellent price for him, but we'll get more into that later. He's one of Home Depot's online onlys for this year's Halloween, so he has no box art, sadly, but that's okay. And now, let's get into the positives. When I think of positives about this animatronic, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that he's servo. The servo head movement, as you see, adds so much more realism to him, and I like him a lot more because of that. Another positive that comes to mind is the fact that his phrases and voice are not the stereotypical pirate voice that you would think of like Captain Cuts has. His phrases are also different than Captain Cuts, so they're not overlapping when they're talking. I'm glad that they don't say the same stuff because I'm going to display them together at my trunk or treat. But overall, I really enjoy him. And another positive, the final one I could think of, is the fact that he uses the ultra posable skeleton eye instead of just the old red light up eyes that the old posable skeletons have. While it doesn't work on every prop, it definitely works on him really well. Final positive I could think of about this guy is the fact that he has a really good sensor. As you can see right there, he has that white, I believe it's a PIR sensor instead of an IR sensor. And it's weird, but they work way better than the old IR sensors. Let's see how far back I could go. Let's wait for him to finish. I was a good 8 feet away there, and he still turns on because of the PIR sensor. But now I think that's enough positives. Now let's get into my personal gripes / negatives about this guy. Now we are getting into the negatives about this guy. By far the worst and most notable negative is the fact that the chest paint is so scraped up and just not painted in some areas. I mean, by far, SVI really screwed up on the chest. I mean, and not to mention the pearls, they look like they're cheap. They're literally necklace. They're like a necklace you would wear with white orbs on it. But the paint is all messed up. SVI really did a terrible job with this. Sorry. But that's probably the most notable and worst thing I have to say about it. But the next negative I have to talk about is the shirt up here. As you could see, the shirt is pulled a little bit to this side. That's due to the fact that this sleeve that holds this arm that moves with the beer or poison bottle or whatever, it's a little too short, so it pulls the shirt this way, so it makes it look slightly uneven, and that just annoys me personally. Another negative I have to have is even with the waistband on, as you can see, I don't have it on because I didn't want to tie it on because I'm going to take them apart after this video. But since I didn't want to tie it on, as you could see, even with the waistband on, it would be about this. His body looks super big for just being a skeleton. Now getting into my personal gripes about this guy, something I have to say is the fact that he has a latex spine, not a latex head. His head's hard plastic, but he has a latex spine / neck. And that really annoys me because I don't want him to dry rot. I know dry rotting takes a while. I just really don't want him to. The final gripe I have about this guy is the fact that you have to tie on his head and waistband. Here's the cloth they give you for the waistband right here. You fold it up and you tie it around. The headband I have tied on. Otherwise, if you don't know how to tie a knot that well, yours is going to look bad and that just annoys me. I get having to tie the waistband on because you have to put the shirt on, but why couldn't the head / skull could have just came with it tied on? And that just bugs me a lot. Now that little rant's over, let's get into the value / should you buy him. Now it's time for the final category, the is it worth it / value category. And I would say definitely yes, he is worth the $149.99 price tag. When have you ever seen a servo animatronic for only $149.99? I think Home Depot knocked it out of the park with the servos. And while he has the same amount of motions, Dean the Deathologist and Jack of Spades, two overrated props this year in my opinion, this guy is definitely underrated. And if you didn't want the light up eye, you just come back here and you can open them up and you could just unplug, I believe it's the white wire. I believe if you unplug the white wire, you don't have the light up eye, you just have the normal eye. And then his control box is right here in case anybody wants to see it. He has no lights only setting. He has a timer, which is the on, and then the sensor setting. And then off is the try me slash step pad also. But overall, I do think this guy is really great, and I hope everybody else enjoys him as much as I did. Thanks for watching. Now roll the demos.
Avast there, you slavey excuse for a sea dog. Aye, me skull be rattling with laughter at the misfortune of any landlubber who dare cross our path. Me heart may be cold, but nothing warms it like a chest full of gold. So give it here, or I'll pry it from your lifeless hands. Ahoy, Captain! These ghostly sails be blowing as we set course for a cursed plunder. Now, me hearties, who'll be joining me on this haunted voyage? Ahoy, matey! These old bones have been on many a perilous adventure and stolen many treasures with the captain. 'Tis a dark and stormy night. Perfect coverage for pillaging. Let's sail the high seas once more. Beware. No storm nor wave can turn us. We be a skeleton crew of scoundrels and scallywags, forever floating atop the murky cold of this. I reckon we be the most fearsome crew to ever roam